We're go.
Okay. Hi.
Hello.
So, we're doing a thing.
We are doing a thing.
Yeah. I'm like, how do we start? Do we want to introduce ourselves or
Nah,
anything?
fuck it. This is just a dry test run. We can just have fun and just see how it goes.
And we can practice a little bit, you know? Because, I'm Jordan. This is...
Didn't we just say we weren't going to do this? This is just
I'm
a try.
gonna
We're just going
practice
for it.
Yeah, but I'm going to practice it. You know what I mean?
Well, we just said, no, we're not going to do it.
What are we going to come up here? We're just going to be like, here are these two random voices in your ear. You don't need to know their names. But
well, this isn't going to be heard by anybody, so this is just a practice.
We can pretend.
You're ruining the run.
I'm not even ruining the run. I'm trying to be a normal person sitting in front of a mic with another normal person sitting in front of a mic.
But what if I'm not normal?
I mean, we already know that.
That's no, they don't. They don't even know me. I'm a voice in their ear.
Okay, well, then let's get into it. So this story is coming from RAITAH. You know what that means, right?
Retarded.
r/AITAH. So, am I the asshole?
Probably.
Hey. Okay. So we are also going to be referring to the person who posts as OP. I've heard that from a couple podcasts. I thought it originally stood for original poster, but it actually stands for online person. And so whenever we're talking about OP, that's just the person who made the post. We agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one header is, am I the asshole for giving my mom an eviction notice on her birthday?
Did you pronounce that correctly?
What?
You said eviction notice.
I just have a little bit of a weird voice thing sometimes.
Did you
I'll
mean
get better
eviction?
at it. I said eviction.
You said eviction. There was
Stop
an
making
N
fun
in
of
there.
my clarity. I speak how I like to speak, okay?
There was clearly an N there.
Well, am I the asshole for giving my mom an eviction notice on her birthday? For context, I lived with my mother and her husband after graduating high school, despite wanting, I can't read, to get my own apartment because her husband was injured.
This will definitely help your literacy.
I am way more literate than you. Don't even now.
For sure. But currently you're on the spot.
Yeah, I know, I'm on the spot, but I'm trying to be I'm trying to set a tone.
It's like the kid who gets picked on popcorn at school and doesn't know how to read.
I will have you know that even when we were reading Hamlet in high school, I was the Ophelia. I was that girl in class, you know? Okay, so, dang it, I lost my spot. So, for context, I lived with my mother and her husband after graduating high school. Despite wanting to get my own apartment because her husband was injured and refused to work, I stayed and paid rent so they wouldn't lose their house. I was supposed to pay $600 a month, but my mother kept asking me to help with bills or pay extra, which resulted in me paying up to $2,000 a month at times, not including what I would spend on groceries for everyone. She also had me pull loans out in my name for her because if she didn't get money, we would lose the house and be homeless. This went on for a long time, and then her husband threatened divorce. He said that either I or my sister needed to buy the house, or he was going to sell it to some rando for $100,000 less within the week. My mother and sister both pressured me into buying it, or I would let them all be homeless, and pressured a friend to co-sign with me. He was excited to buy a house, so he agreed. I made it clear that I was not ready to buy a house, and that if I did this, they needed to pull their weight, especially financially, because my friend and I could not afford the payments on our own. My sister paid 2.5 months of rent and then didn't pay anything for 5 months, saying she needed to prioritize other payments and groceries and etc. Her boyfriend that moved in with us always was behind and hasn't paid in 3 months. My mother is also about 3 months behind. We've tried having deep talks, explaining that if they don't pay, we're going to lose utilities and eventually get the house foreclosed on, but they never took it seriously. They just nodded and said, I'll pay with my next check, which, surprise, surprise, they never did. Not to mention they had horrible spending habits, wasting money on gambling, drinking, toys, and expensive food. Me and my friend have been giving our entire checks to make house payments and living off chicken and rice we bought for cheap in bulk, while they often go to the bar and waste their money, then get expensive fast food after. We finally hit our limit and got the official eviction paperwork. We meant to give it to them 2 days prior, but my mother told us she just had to schedule a surgery and that she'd be out of work for 2 months with no income. When I asked her what her financial plan was and reminded her that we are very close to losing the house because no one is paying their rent, she said, quote, "I don't know, but you'll take care of me, right?" End quote. We gave them the notices the next day, which unfortunately landed on her birthday. They spent the day bar hopping, so we left the notices for them before we left for work. Needless to say, they're pissed, saying that I'm unfair and cruel, and making claims that they were going to pay, but they were just waiting, proving to me that those are just excuses, and they were still going to prioritize their own wants and needs. My mother even threw in my face that I had the audacity to do this when my grandmother is dying. My financial future is forked. I'm uncomfortable in my own home and working myself ragged with 50-hour work weeks just to try and make the difference of what they're not paying. Please tell me, am I the asshole?
Absolutely not.
You don't think she is?
But no. Everybody I would have gotten, you think you gonna have a birthday party? You think you got a life is good? You think you can just smooth around everywhere, just being chill, thinking that you don't have to make any expenses, no payments, no nothing? No. Tripping. Whole situation, whole story. She looks like she's been trying to have everybody's back and make sure that they're okay and have everybody's kind of like, they're at least trying to support people and be the best person that you can be. This is one of those cases where like you're a really good person and you're really trying to be the best person you can be and try to be supportive and try to be kind and really try to have everybody's back. She is that person. She's kind, respectful, honestly doing a lot more for these people than they honestly deserve. That was shown throughout the whole beginning of that story. That part where she actually bought the house and was able to start making payments, and then everybody was kind of just bailing on her, dipping on her, and not doing anything, and then showing that they were still doing their normal lives, like we aren't struggling. That is the part in the story where that all goes out the window. I don't care if it was your birthday, if it was Christmas, it's your grandma's, I don't care. Everybody getting dropped. I do not care. She put up with enough to where it's like, it's understandable. And there's not a single person that would be like, oh, that's you can't do that. That's terrible. You could have chosen a different. I don't care. Family, not family, friend, not friend. I don't care. Genuinely, it just shows me that these people haven't had your back. That's not family. That's just somebody taking advantage of you. The family title is only part of the whole thing because, one, they raised you. That's fair. You were kind to them. You showed them that you were able to be that person that was having their back. And now that they don't have, like, any kind of sympathy towards you because all you are to them is housing. Like, even when the sister brought up the point where it's like, oh, I got to put expenses elsewhere. Expenses elsewhere where? You can be homeless and have other expenses. That could be a thing you want to work out with.
Yeah, I mean, and like what kills me is that not only can she not get help from her family when she's paying for the place for her sister and her sister's boyfriend and her mom to live, she gets her friend involved in this who is obviously a way better friend than like any of her family members have been this entire time to co-sign on the house. And then she's like takes the time to like have a bunch of talks. Like, I understand giving your family the benefit of the doubt because like it's family, you know, you don't want to like throw them out on the street. You don't want them to be like homeless or anything. So like she takes that time to like talk to them too. And that's absolutely crazy that after months and months and months of waiting and giving them the benefit of the doubt, giving them grace, they're still not paying. This friend is paying for their rent. And like they're still kind of just, and they're mad about it. Like, I don't understand why people have the audacity to be mad, but I feel like it's just been a standard of like them taking care of everything, so it's given them the opportunity to like honestly be lazy. But yeah, top comment says, of course, sell the house and move far away. What do you think about that?
Honestly, with the selling the house portion, it's just a matter of comfortability. I don't know how, because she already did mention that she's a little uncomfortable with the home, but more specifically, that comes with a whole lot of hassle in general with just having, now you're just genuinely having these people just on your ass about everything, and just now selling the house, and what are you going to do, buy another house elsewhere? It just creates more situation.
Yeah.
If I'm OP, I genuinely just evict everybody, and then just now this is just my home, my friend's home, and now we just kind of try to, maybe we can get other tenants where it's just like maybe get roommates or situation that are actually going to be forthright in paying and not having these ungrateful people in your house.
Yeah.
My biggest thing for her is just, or her, him, is just listen. Family isn't going to always be having your back. If they show you that they're not going to be there for you, you're not forced to just kind of be in a situation you don't want to be in.
Yeah, and
don't let yourself get sucked up in a situation that is not beneficial for you.
There just like has to be a time where you step your foot down, because they are going to run you ragged. Like, it sounds like they're just gonna like keep on taking advantage of your good graces, your friends' good graces, and they'll see how long that lasts them. But like, that is at a detriment to you. It's at a detriment to OP. It's unfair. Like, I like this one. By the way, this story was posted 10 hours ago.
Oh, fresh situation.
So it's super, super fresh. So this person says, sell the house and go no contact for a time. These people do not care about you, OP. They see you struggling. They don't care. They do have money. I mean, yeah, like they go out to bars and stuff.
My thing is, though, with that comment, I hate the no contact thing. I genuinely am a big, firm believer on go through the fire. Don't just try to create a situation where it's just like later on you'll get burned out along the way. Just fuck it, go through it, just have the situation, and just be 100%. Listen, you weren't there for me. There are no excuses. There are no situations where you are in the right. I do not care about your feelings because you never gave a fuck about my feelings.
Yeah.
Stop this whole nonsense and then just understand But that's because that's the thing. People are scared to have that type of confrontation, and especially if it's family.
But
Yeah,
sorry. I do think that, like, it's important, though, if it's, like, a situation where, like, they're constantly hounding you, you got to do what's best for your mental health. And if that is going no contact instead of dealing with, like, your mom telling you these terrible things all over, like, again and again and again, then, like, going no contact might be the healthiest thing. But it is up to that person whether or not they want to confront. They want to go through all of those things.
I feel like that's where you and I kind of differ, though. Because I feel like, honestly, if you go no contact, for some people, that's more emotional abuse because of like let's say you go no contact, and like we were talking about how like the mom's going through surgery and the whole situation is like now you don't have a clue as to what happens with that whole scenario now and what happens to them. If you go and confront them, that opens up an availability that, hey, I confronted you. And I always am like, if you tell somebody straight up how you feel about the situation and they don't respect your opinion on it, then they were never meant for you to have that relationship in the first place. But if you go no contact, that opens up a door of just a bunch of questions of just what could have been done, what could have been done differently, why didn't we assess the situation? Because time sometimes can heal wounds, but also at the same time it can create further like damage.
Yeah, especially if you're in a cycle. But like back to this comment, I think it speaks to a lot of what you're saying. So this person was saying they do have money, but they would rather spend it on themselves. So I guarantee they will land on their feet when you are no longer footing the bill. Sell the house and focus entirely on yourself for a while. Get yourself back onto good financial ground without a bunch of vampires sucking you dry. You'll be shocked how fast you see your recovery go. And by the way, it is never a good time to evict someone. Someone is always dying. It's the season of a holiday. They're going through a personal crisis. You've been pushed well past your limit, and this is the result. I can understand that because I feel like there is never a good time to bring this up, and because of the position they keep putting her in, they're always going to use those excuses and bring up anything. So I do think going no contact for a time could be beneficial just because they have to figure out what they're doing, and like it just seems really toxic. It seems like she is actually in turn parentifying her parent and parentifying her sister when the roles have like completely reversed here. Another comment says they are adults and know better. I hope you and your friend have the best of luck. But yeah, this was only 11 hours ago. I think it's like pretty much across the board. Everyone's like, you are not the asshole. I feel like this is like months and months of the same issue, and it's unfair for you to financially put yourself in like a poor situation just because of family.
I mean, definitely.
Yeah.
So, my take, you're not the asshole.
Yeah. And eventually I'll get better at looking through Reddit to see if OP commented again, but this was 10 hours ago, so I don't see anything from them immediately coming up. But we'll keep an eye on that, you know? Okay. You ready for the next one?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, don't get a habit of reading too many comments. Read like 3, like how you did there, and then keep moving.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to, this one is 16 days ago. Coming from, well, I shouldn't give their names out, right? Yeah. Oh, just OP. So, am I the asshole for telling my mother-in-law she couldn't visit my wife in the hospital the same day our child was born?
That's an interesting one.
I have
That's
Before we get into this, I do have an opinion about this. I don't think that you have to have.
To the end. Read the story.
Let me speak.
Yes, but keep your opinions to the end. Let the story play out. See what goes on, because it could completely change the whole look at.
I know. That's why I like to give my opinion first and foremost, because I'm like, oh, if I read this and then I'm like dead wrong, I think that is
the trouble comes is that you're the
learning moment.
But you're the reader though, so it comes as a bigger issue.
I'm also Jordan and opinionating
yes, but
based off just the header. Let me
hold
live.
Hold your opinions till the end.
Let me cook. See, okay, let me cook with this opinion. Let me cook because it's good and I feel like I'm going to forget it. So like, I don't think, like, personally, I don't want anybody in the room except for my husband, and I think that that should be respected. If that's what you want, that's what you want. Period. Okay. So back to the actual story. My wife and I discussed it in the days leading up to the birth of our son, and we agreed that we did not want any visitors the same day he was born. My mother-in-law was notified that my wife was going to require a C-section, and she told me to tell her when she was able to come up and visit her, and I told her I would do so. I texted our group chat for my wife's side of the family, updating them that the procedure went well and that mama and baby were doing perfect. She replied and said, I know you didn't tell me to come, but we are in the waiting room. We're so excited and want to be here for you too. I texted her back saying that we appreciated her coming up, but that they should go home and that we would see them tomorrow. My father-in-law called me shortly after and insulted me in every way imaginable. And my mother-in-law sent me a long text saying how disrespectful it was of me to not allow them to visit their daughter. I quickly reminded them that today wasn't about them and that it was about my wife, the baby, and I. We haven't spoken since. Am I the asshole?
No, we clearly laid out the rules here. I just genuinely feel like you're an idiot. Like what happened? Like, we laid out the rules. We told you exactly how we wanted it. I understand that that might be your daughter, but at the same time, just because it's coming from my text message, it still came from both of us, and you're just selfish about the whole situation because you came up unannounced.
Yes.
You even said yourself you came up unannounced. You said it. You know that you were here without permission for being here, and you have the goal to be
Gall. The goal. No, how is that spelled?
I don't got a goddamn clue.
The gall. You have not the gall to
You have the cojones to come up in here and think that you have any say in what goes on. That's not how it works. We literally had a whole sit down of just text messages of just here's how we want to plan it out. If you show up unexpected, understand that you're not going to get in.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that people agree with you.
Like Chris Brown said, how are you hating from outside the club? You can't even get in.
Maybe not the best person to
I
quote.
don't care.
Maybe not the best person to quote at all. But yeah, top comment says, I know you didn't tell me to come. Yes. And there's a very good reason for that. That one has the most upvotes because simply put, they literally knew that they weren't allowed to come and yet they came anyways. You are not, OP, you are not the asshole.
You are not the
asshole. I think this one's pretty simple.
Pretty straightforward,
honestly. And I think people of our generation understand that. that when you place a boundary, like people just you don't overstep that, and then you get mother-in-laws, you get father-in-laws feeling some type of way because back when Mama June had her kids, she had grandma, grandpa, auntie, uncle, everybody was in there watching a baby come out of her hoo-ha, and everybody was really excited about that. And times are different. People like private things. They like their boundaries, and I think that should just be respected.
Honestly, true.
Yeah.
But we could go down a whole rabbit hole of just older people just not understanding emotional cues or anything like that. Their respect for kind of emotional standards. Nowadays, it's a whole different ball game. If I'm going to chalk up the whole thing to a little understanding, be emotionally available, understand the situation, understand what's happening. Don't get like all uppity over a situation you were told about and then think just because you try to push your narrative that you're going to get your way. That's outdated. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
Stop moving like that. You're only creating problems for yourself and everybody else.
And I can't like, I don't even know what words I'm trying to use, but I can't say this like enough, but just because you have kids does not mean you are entitled to their lives. And I think that is like just a fact. And I do think a lot of the older generation, they are like emotionally like
Stunted.
Available. Well, hey, I was trying to, I think that some of them do a good job. They understand boundaries, they respect them. And that just comes from like good parentage and stuff. But there are plenty of people that don't understand that, and they do believe that they have that sense of entitlement. That it makes me sad because then it's just like, you don't want to be a jerk. You don't want to be like, hey, no, you can't see your kid, but you can see him tomorrow. Like, just come tomorrow when we're a little bit more rested. We haven't like gone through the like. Just, I can't even imagine what it's like to go through a C-section. That's terrifying in general. You have giant stitches everywhere. You're tired. You're just waking up from like so many different drugs and stuff. And then you want like all of these people staring at you and like just being in your space. That's just like, that sounds terrible to me. So I think that I just would wish that her parents would take a moment, take a breath, and just be like, hey, we'll see them tomorrow. There's so much going on. They're going to be in these kids' lives. Like, it's okay waiting a day. You don't have to be there day of. I don't get why people are like that.
Yeah. Basically, whole message of this, understand people's emotions and allow them some respect.
I think we can move on. I think that one's pretty simple.
Pretty in the books. Honestly, don't be an asshole. If somebody tells you something, do them the favor.
Okay. This one is from one day ago. And I haven't read any of these.
Yeah.
Just
With
scrolling.
these ones, you don't have to
along.
kind of like tell how long ago these were. You can just tell the story.
I'm testing it out. Because I'm testing it out. Just the
I feel like
vibe.
honestly, if you wanted to say when it was posted, wait until the end. That way, it's like, oh, like that way it creates like a different like. I was like,
I like
wow, like more like if it was like
Like
if,
another.
like if you tell like a story and be like, oh, this was probably like 20 some odd years ago, and this was posted 3 days ago. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I like that too. I like because I did that the first time, and I think that hit. Okay, so am I the asshole? I don't want custody of my sister's 3 kids. Okay, this is a little embarrassing. TLDR. I need to remember what that means. TLDR. What does that mean? I'm so not. I'm like chronically online without being chronically online, so I don't know what TLDR means. Do you?
Yo, I'm like unk status. I don't know what the hell.
Wait, let's Google. we gotta. And this is not an ad, but DuckDuckGo. You can turn off the AI assist. Pretty good. Okay, TLDR. TLDR. Too long, didn't read. It's commonly used online to introduce a summary of a longer piece of content, or to indicate that a text is too lengthy.
I think we all got that. You went real old with that. You didn't have to go in full definition mode. I think once we got what the acronym
I love
was,
a definition.
No,
though.
I think once we got the acronym, we could have I was like,
maybe I'm slow because I need
reading past it. Just we sound real old after
I
that
need,
one.
Hey, we're only 26. We're not.
We could have just
We're
stopped
not.
at the
We're
acronym.
not unk yet. We're not.
No,
Unk.
I'm unk as hell, dude. Unk as fuck.
That's okay. Okay, we're here. Why would you put TLDR at the beginning though? You know,
To
I don't
show
get
that
it.
this is a summary.
Okay. And we're back in. So my sis lost custody of her 3 kids years ago. My mom got custody a couple years ago, but now she has health issues and asked me to care for them instead. I don't think I have the means financially or the space. I, 29 female, have 1 kid, 11 female. My sister, 32 female, has 3 kids, 11 female, 8 female, 6 female. The oldest is also autistic. About 3 years ago, my sister lost custody of her kids. The girls were split up in the system for a little over a year before our mom, 52 female, got custody 2 years ago. Over the last 2 years, the girls have been really thriving. They're happy, healthy, doing well in school. Recently, my mom got unexpected health issues that are severely impacting her mobility and energy. There is no cure. She called me last week to ask if I would take the girls so they aren't split up in the system again. My heart sank. I love my nieces. There's no denying that. And my daughter loves her cousins. The kids all get along great. They live on the opposite side of the country, but I visit whenever possible. I'm always planning all sorts of activities and experiences for them and encouraging them to pursue the things they love. The oldest loves art, the middle child loves gymnastics, and the youngest loves Pokemon and video games. I plan things we can all do together, and I make sure that they get one-on-one time too. I would die for these girls, but I just don't have the means to care for them full time. My husband and I are considered a low-income family. After a decade of saving, we finally bought a small 2-bed townhouse. But there's barely enough room for the 3 of us, let alone another 3 kids too. I suggested my mom move closer so I can help more day to day, but she shot that down rather quickly. Her reasons were she didn't want to pull the kids out of their current school, but I guess it's okay if I do. And with her health issues, she didn't want to have to find a new doctor. That one is pretty valid. There's a serious healthcare crisis in my country. Us moving closer to them is not an option. We would both have to find new jobs, and my husband's current job has really good benefits we can't afford to lose. My mom is retired, so the only thing tying her to her current location is her doctor. My heart is breaking. I don't want to lose my nieces to the system again. I love the relationship we have, but I don't see how I could sustainably take on 3 of them full time. My mom and my sister have been calling me heartless and that I haven't fully thought it through. But I have. I've been thinking about it every day for over 3 years when my sister first lost custody. We have an edit. They edited the message. They said, "Oh wow, I can't keep up with the comments, so I'm going to address a couple questions here." Oh, wait. Let's talk about the edit after after we discuss it a little bit.
Right. So, to be honest with you, no one's in the right here. There's not a single person who's in the right here. This is just a bad situation all around.
Yeah.
If I'm being 100% honest with you, there is no one who's right or wrong. This is just a tough situation. And I genuinely feel like in life, there are sometimes you get presented with situations where you can't win. There is no win, there's no right, there's no wrong. It's just tough. And I genuinely think that this is one of those situations because from what OP has introduced, she is just genuinely not in a position to inherit just 3 kids. That's kids in like this economy. It's tough. It's a situation where it's like creates just more like mouths to feed, more like clothes to buy. It creates a big expense that just, especially if you're in a lower income home, it's just there's not much that you can genuinely realistically do. And at the same time, the mom not being able to care for them anymore and doing her best until she had her health problems, she did her best too. She tried to have the situation be helpful and she did the most that she could and try to get everything. If we're really looking at any nitty gritty, is why did the sister lose custody? What happened situation wise? Was it domestic issues? Where is it like drug addiction? What was the whatever it might be? That's where the root issue was in the situation happening. If this is happening and you lose custody of your kids, there's something going on there that just was bad. But we don't know that side of the story. So issue being is that there is truthfully nothing that the two main people, being the mom and then the daughter, can do to make it easier for anybody. If anything, this would been like a, you know how those families have like those houses where they're just like the whole family lives in and it makes it a little easier. Some accommodation like that would probably make it a little easier. But we are in the point where like now this is, we're talking about people who don't live like, from what it seems like, near each other, so it's creating issues in that vacuum where it's like you can't live in the same house. But truthfully being, I think if we're being the most honest, and this is the only thing that could be good, I truthfully feel like OP and her family could move and live with the mom. That way they don't have to purchase a house, they don't have to do any other stuff. They can help the mom with expenses. And truthfully, if the mom is now like specifically retired, she's getting money from her retirement, and then she can also file for disability. Having that kind of income will help kind of push forward at least the husband to find a job, or the the daughter to find a job. You can maneuver in that way. Do you want to? Probably not, but it's the most helpful thing. It's not great though.
Yeah.
Because you uproot your whole life.
Yeah,
I
and
understand the situation. It's not fair.
The
It's
dad,
not great.
She mentioned the dad doesn't want to, not, well, her husband doesn't want to lose the benefits, because there are some benefits, and that's why they don't want to move across the country for this, because like they got to think about their family, you know. And I get that. I actually do. I think that in a perfect world, it's like, I mean, she clearly loves these kids, like clearly makes time for them when she can, but it's like, those are 3 kids. Like they're low income, like they have their own things to deal with, and like it is not their it's not their fault that the sister, like, you know, lost custody of their kids. So it's just like they have to deal with that, and these are probably 3 awesome kids that do not deserve to be put into the system. So I think you're right when you're saying that it's just like, that's a difficult situation all around. But like, she did edit because she was commenting a lot at what people were saying, and so she added some more to, you know. But she did say the dad is not in the picture. He has 2 other kids from 2 other women that he also walked out on. That's really sad. That's sad. My sister is on drugs and living in a tent, but it's got a great view of the lake. There's no other family that could help. My mother is also low income, and her retirement funds barely cover their cost of living as is, but I will definitely be looking more into other resources and government funding. Thank you to those providing actual help, helpful advice and suggestions. I am not in the U.S. So she's not in America. I don't know how the systems are in other countries for foster care or government assistance for situations like that, but it's just kind of like, it's like, that is a full-time job. I think that like being able to handle all of these things, my heart just really goes out to OP, because it's like, this is an impossible situation where like there's so much love that you probably have to give to the world and like to these kids and stuff, but like financially, like there's some serious realistic issues that come with raising kids, and these kids are older. They're not like super young. So I mean, like they have their own opinions and like emotional stuff that they probably need to deal with, and like to change your entire life for that's just like, oof.
Like I said, genuinely, no winners, no good things. Just bad scenarios, bad situations. Unfortunately, the sister really kind of screwed the family over with poor life decisions, but we're not here to judge people on their life decisions. The only thing we can say is to OP, apologize the situation you're in, and understand that whatever decisions you do end up making, don't feel bad about them. You are put in an impossible situation.
The comments that I'm reading are basically like people are actually trying to help OP, like asking like questions about like what the situation for like government funding is, what the situation for the mom is. Like people are actually kind of coming out to help her, because part of it is I think that she needs help organizing this, because like if it can be done, I think that she would jump on it if it was an easy decision like to make and she had all the resources. She even mentioned that. And like I don't think she's being an asshole like by her feelings. Her feelings are incredibly valid. Like, cuz this is scary. But I do think that she's just like, whoa, this is a lot of stuff to think about. I don't know what to do. But I don't think it makes her the asshole to like actually seriously be like, I can't do this because it's impossible.
That it is. That it is for sure. Definitely heart goes out to them, and hopefully they can figure out a situation where it works for all of them. I mean, if it is how you said, hopefully things can work out and they'll find some help from some folks online. Said if you do have any know-how, see if you could find this Reddit post and post some help.
Yeah, and like there was one comment that says, "What's your husband's view on this?" Because his opinion matters too. And OP did respond to that. OP said he works 60 hours a week with an hour plus commute. Oof, he's barely home unless it's to sleep. At the end of the day, he supports whatever I decide, but I think that's because he knows it'll be me doing the vast majority of the heavy lifting. Ugh, heavy lifting.
My question is, how are you working 60 hours a week, hour commute, and you're still in a poor income? You might need a new job, my man. I understand these benefits, but like, I don't understand how good these benefits are if you're working 60 hours a week. Like I want that to be put into perspective for some folks. If you're working 5 days a week, you're working 12-hour days. You're working insane hours. Or if you're spreading that throughout, that's either 10 hours every 6 days, or hell, if you're working all 7 days a week, it's basically, pardon my math, I'm fucking doing math on the fly right here.
Yeah.
That's at least 9 hours to 10 hours every single day.
It's a long time.
Like, pardon my take, but I genuinely don't see where this is beneficial to continue working at this place. Like, how good are these benefits? Like, is it free healthcare? Like,
ooh, I do like this comment. This is, and I think it's good we can end this on this one, because it's just, this person says, I'm a professional working in this area, and I implore you to make a considered decision. You must understand the logistical, financial, and emotional impact taking on your sister's children will have on you and your family. Don't make a decision based on guilt and blame. Whatever your decision, it's important to remain in the lives of the children, and that can look like a lot of different things. You can have regular contact, holidays, and perhaps offer respite. Your sister isn't in the moral position to blame anyone except for herself. Yeah, period. Mic drop. I think that, like, it's important to consider her immediate family, because why put your immediate family in ruin when it's not... This isn't on you. It's like, yeah.
The sister has no room to speak.
Yeah. Sister has, like, this is completely her to blame, and she's leaving her family to pick up the pieces, which is, that's tough. That's very tough. But, yeah. Bummers. I think a lot of these were bummers. I think what I want to do is, like, maybe look up scary stories, like offer some, like, silly stories.
One thing I want to say to finish at least this segment of it is just don't feel indebted to people just because they're your family. Don't ever put yourself and make yourself think that I have to do something because it's just my family. Understand that your family is just the people that were with you the day you were born. That doesn't make them entitled to you and your person for your entire life. You are a person. You have your own thoughts. They have their own thoughts. Your relationship with them, it can be something great, but the thing is, it's sometimes not as romanticized and as great as people always want to make it be. It's not something that is always going to be amazing. Make your own decisions. Live your life the way you want it to be lived. And don't let people stop you from doing things that you enjoy or will impede you from living your best life. Your family is supposed to be here to be helpful, to help you, and just help you seek out what you want to be and who the best version of you is. And if that's not what they do,
fuck them. And
that's a great way to end it.
And like not to be standing on a soapbox. I if you have the financial means, if you're able to, I think therapy is amazing. I am therapized a little bit myself. I think it's
Is that a real
something
word?
if it's not a word, I am making it a word. I feel genuinely therapized by a lot
She
of
used it
things.
again.
a lot of a lot of issues with family and family dynamics. It's I'm very, I know a family dynamic issue, so I think talking it out with a trusted professional is always the best move. Like, I'm sure when we do post things, like, we'll add resources and stuff because everybody deserves a chance to, like, talk out through their things because life is freaking hard no matter where you are. Like, in America, outside of the country, life be lifing at all times, and you deserve the help, and the help is out there. And I love that people are really coming out to bat for people on Reddit. I love seeing that. It makes me really happy, and I don't really think we had any assholes in these stories.
Outside of the family of the one lady.
I mean, yeah, well, OP, not really being the assholes. But anyways, I am really excited to continue reading a bunch of stories, discovering more on Reddit. You have anything else you want to say, babe?
No, that's about it.
Okay.
Hopefully you enjoyed this little piece. We did feel like we did really good on this initial.
Yeah.
We pushed it to, I think, 20 minutes there. So yeah.
That was only 20 minutes?
Yeah, we did like 21 minutes of it.
Dang, we could do a whole nother story.
No, we're good.
I
Remember,
know.
we gotta get back by 1:30.
Yeah. Well, bye.
Adios.